From Ivory Tower Populism Productions, this is video 6, The Nature of Government Services, Part 3. Or, is Walmart supposed to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the welfare state? So here's a thought question. What if we had a $3,000 per month universal basic income or a negative income tax for all citizens, but had no public enterprises and no direct subsidies for any other enterprises? People would be empowered. They would choose services for themselves directly as well represented customers rather than having elitist politicians dole out our tax dollars to elitist suppliers as part of that supplier industrial complex, an arrangement that seems to get perpetually more disconnected from the masses. See videos 4 and 5. Keep in mind, this is just a thought question. Economists do see a justification for subsidizing activity if there are positive externalities. And I do think there may be a problem with the UBI, individuals receiving value without producing value. And if the program were means tested, that problem would be amplified. Individuals are actually punished for producing value. The more you produce, the less you receive. A major disincentive. That's a separate issue, but it might be good to review video 2. Nevertheless, back to the issue of government services. I think a critical question is to think about who should deliver a service in the context of who should regulate that service. A forthcoming video will follow up on the old video 3, indicating that a chief role for government is to define and enforce private property lines, literally and figuratively. In that spirit, we also need to assess who diagnoses a need and who treats the need, that is, delivers the goods. A conflict of interest may occur when a mechanic tells you what you need done and then does the work. Maybe he'd tell you that you need to replace the air in your tires with their special high quality premium air. So the functions of diagnosing and treating should be separated. The accrediting agency, the auditor, city permitting, all of these should be separated from the enterprise that delivers the service. Just like in corporations, the controller and the treasurer should be separate. And a CEO should not also be chairperson of the board. For good corporate governance, this reduces conflicts of interest and corruption, ideally. It may be reasonable to suppose that government is in the best position to grant charters, provide auditing services, authorize permits, accredit, and keep score. But can government audit itself and be honest? Can city government assess the local transportation needs and then deliver on those needs? Can any government, federal, state, or local, define retirement pension needs and then deliver? Now, to be fair, many private enterprises have been really bad at managing their pension plans as well. So maybe more government is needed for better auditing and keeping score on pension plans. But if that is true, can government also run a nationalized pension plan and audit itself honestly? Now, if you agree with this perspective, you might think it wise to privatize the United States Postal Service, selling their assets to perhaps FedEx, UPS, Amazon, but then the entire industry would need to be highly regulated by the federal government. Now, let's think about public transportation. The city of Curitiba, Brazil, designed what was arguably the world's first bus rapid transit system. Now, I do think that bus rapid transit is a great idea, but that's actually not my main point. The city designed the overall bus system down to a great level of detail. a perfect example of design thinking. One of their many innovations was that they organized private bus operation around the catchment areas, which largely they also designed. The lesson: substantial government involvement, in this case, the city, in overall design, implementation by private enterprise. That's all for now. Here are the references for this video. Not a lot of research this time. I guess mostly I was just yapping.